of sport across the world. You know, last episode of Sports Update, I told you the only thing you need to survive this year is to stay hardworking, work smart, and be dedicated to whatever it is you've chosen to do. And with this, you can just be sure that you will succeed this year, because you know last year came with a whole lot of surprises, but this year don't worry, you would rise, you would shine, and things you never expected will come up good for you, will show up, and trust me, it is going to be your best year yet. It is on this note that I welcome you to another wonderful edition of Sports Update here on Remo TV. I am still Oluwapelumi. This past weekend, a whole lot of actions happened right from the Spanish La Liga, the Bundesliga, and the Nigerian Professional Football League. You know, over the years, NPFL has been saying that they would like to go through some kind of renovations, rejuvenations, and all. But for the past 2 matches now, we've seen a whole lot of differences, and I can tell you categorically that the match that happened this weekend between MFM and Sunshine Stars, it was a very, very tough game. It was so wonderful, and NPFL LMC, they really tried. They've done a whole lot, though that is not the best they can give, but they can still give us a whole lot better than what we've seen. But trust me, they've done better than they've always brought out to lovers of football. And Nigerian Professional Football League, I can tell you, they are back, not just back, they are back better and stronger. And MFM, they were able to defeat Sunshine Stars 1-0 with the only goal scored by Dennis Opasi. Dennis Opasi, it was a very, very wonderful goal. He was able to score the goal at the early minute of the game, and that was the only goal they scored throughout the game. Sunshine Stars, well, they gave their best, but their best was definitely not enough to bring into Gaga the players of MFM. And also a lot of games happened that I would give you the outline of the scoreline, but the truth still remains. Nasarawa United, they've dropped from their radar. You know, they were on top of the standing last week, but now we have Rivers United there. That is what MPFL has for us. Don't worry, before the end of the show today, I will give you the standings, I will give you the scoreline of the games that happened, and tell you the subsequent development that would be happening in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Not to forget that FC Barcelona, they seem to be back, they seem to be better, they seem to be stronger, because this weekend they defeated Granada 4-0, with 2 goals coming from their starman Lionel Messi and also Anthony Griezmann. Well, a lot of people said I wouldn't like to bring on that shade, they don't like to castigate whatever it is they might have said, but the truth still remains Anthony Griezmann is still trying to get himself into the team and give us the performance we really expect from him. But this weekend he gave us 2 goals, and Lionel Messi gave us 2 goals. And with the statement we heard from their coach talking about Coman, he said this is definitely what he wants to see, but he believes his star guys can still do better than they are doing presently. That is it for FC Barcelona. Well, they really performed well. They've not lost their 4 past games, both home and away, and they've determined that this kind of performance is what we would see over time, and they are not scared of anything presently. Come any team, the European competition, the La Liga Santander, or whatever, they are ready to give their best and fight for the top of the La Liga Santander standings. And also we saw Osasuna host Real Madrid this past weekend, and one thing, the goal ended goalless 0-0, but one thing Real Madrid players lamented about is that the weather was not favorable, and they think the management commission of La Liga, they need to put heads together and see better ways to round about the way players travels and play games, because the journey was not so smooth. They had to travel by road, they had to travel by bus, because the weather was not good for the plane and all. And even while they were in the bus, they were so scared because the road was not so suitable, because you know the weather there is not too cool and hot. So he's trying to tell them that was part of what made their performance so woeful. They could have possibly won the game, but because of the weather around the stadium and all, the game ended goalless. So Courtois lamented personally that is not the best they can offer, and he hopes as time goes on they will sit together and see a way around doing better things for teams across Spanish La Liga and to enhance their performance respectively. Straight to the world of tennis, a very controversial statement is coming out from the former world top 25, talking about Jeremy Chardy. He has said the tennis Australia's decision to give preferential treatment to some certain players is definitely not it. Generally, they were supposed to gather together at a place, but because they feel this group of people deserves more, they had to keep those players in another environment entirely. And he's saying that this is not good, and it can bring down the morale of every other players. These players given professional treatment. Among them, we have Djokovic, we have Serena Williams, we have Rafael Nadal, and a lot of others of them. And he's saying that this is not right. They should not give some people preferential treatment because they are top 3, top 4 as the case may be, and leave the others to go by their fate. That is definitely not so right. And personally, I would say, when we call something the best, we should know they are the best. Well, maybe the perspective Jeremy is trying to look at it from is that they all want to play competition and they need to stay together in an environment confined just because of the COVID-19 and all. But now we need to understand that when we call some people the best, you need to give them some kind of treatment that should walk along, go along and suit their status. That is what I would say about that. But the truth still remains, these guys are players. We need to consider the morale, we need to consider the emotional perspective of each and every one of them before they go on the court to play their games. So for this reason, I would say maybe Jeremy might be right, but we still need to look at the reason why the organizing committee did what they had done. It is just about the game. It is just what it is. We can't talk down their decision because they have a reason for it. So I believe this treatment would make these certain players perform better, but that should not be a gratification for whatever that comes from them. That is just the sport. That is just the sport. When we talk about Lionel Messi, when we talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, when we talk about Sergio Aguero, the preference we would give to them definitely would be higher than the preference given to some players I wouldn't like to mention. That is just what sports is all about. That is how it is. Even outside the sphere of sport, coming to our general day-to-day doings, we can see that preferences are given to some certain sphere of people, certain kind of people. That is just the game. That's just. So I feel they should just take it the way that's come and they move on with the game. Let them prepare. Let them get themselves accustomed together and see what they will do. Moving straight to the events that happened in the Nigerian Professional Football League, giving you the scoreline of all the games. Like I said earlier, MFM, they were able to carve out a win against Sunshine Stars, 1-0. Also, Nasarawa United, Kano Pillars, the game ended in a single draw, a tie, 1-1. The game was also a very tough one. And also, we had a whole lot of 3-0s. We had a whole lot of 3-0s. Plateau United defeated Atlant 3-0. Lobby Stars defeated Warri Wolves 3-0. Also, Rivers United, they were better than Para United, trust me. And they were able to defeat Para United 3-0. Also, Enugu Rangers defeated Jigawa 1-0. And also, Ifeanyi Umba, they hosted Aqua Starlet, but they were not able to win the game, and Aqua Starlet won the game 1-0. It was a very eventful week because a lot of teams are expected to win games, they lost, and a lot of people I really never thought they would win. They came out with a whole lot of wins, and that is what football is all about. That is what sports is all about. You cannot just expect what you see. You can't predict it. You can't predict. That is why they tell you every time football is a game of art, it's a game of passion, and it's a game you can never predict. I'm sure you would want to be part of the conversation. You can visit us on our website at www.remotv.com.ng or on our social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at official Remo TV. And don't forget, as you go into this new week, COVID-19 is still out there. Be safe, use your nose masks, use your sanitizer, and maintain social distancing if you need to be among the crowd, because your life, your health is so paramount and important to us. Go into this week and enjoy the best of sports. Stay sharp, stay jiggy, and be safe. Bye for now.